Hello, air signs. Okay, so you are my last ones to record, saving the best for last. For those of you that are interested in what cards I'm using, I'm not going to fill up a bunch of time covering them. What I will do is I will post the cards in the information box down below. Getting these lined up, because if these are lined up, we should be good with the rest. Perfect. So what I will do is at the bottom, there's this little information box. I will post the cards that I'm using there. So if you are interested, just look below and that will answer your questions. When I prepared and prayed and shuffled the cards, I asked that each of you receives at least one message. So you should find that you have at least one message. Hopefully you will have more than that. If you find that you don't really have any messages, you can check your rising sign. You can also check your moon sign. And if you find that none of those are resonating with you, you could be thankful, because that just means you don't have work that you have to do during the next couple weeks. So, because again, they cleared out my schedule to have me sit down and do these for everyone, and they do not want me doing the weeklies until after Thanksgiving, because they need everyone to stop and focus on the work that needs to be done these next 2-3 weeks in order to prepare themselves to move forward. So if you find that the messages just really aren't resonating with you, that's a good thing. You don't have work to do. That means you've done your work and you should give yourselves a pat on the back. So, don't be all upset if they're not for you. This is for the people that have some homework to get done. Okay. And we all have homework to do at some point. Just some of you may have already gotten yours done. At the end, I am going to pull an angel answer card for each sign. So as we work our way through these, when I complete each one, I will pull an angel answer for each of your signs. Now, let me make sure you can see all that. Okay, good. And we still have some daylight. Yay! Okay, now, what we're going to do is we're going to work our way down the various signs. We're going to start up here with Aquarius. We're going to go to Libra and then Gemini. What we have is we have the situation, what's occurred in the past. For most, it's going to be the approximate past 6 months, but for some that is different. They'll let us know as we work our way through it. What is challenging you? What is unknown to you at this time? And then the last row we have is what the angels are recommending that you do at this time in order to move forward. So, starting with Aquarius. Let me see what you guys have over here. Okay. Well, you do have 2 repeater cards. You do have these 2 9s, and 2 9s is indicative of one of the 2 of you in a relationship needs to take some time alone. You need to spend some time alone. It can also speak about something that's pretty serious, which would, make sense as to take some time alone to evaluate and look at the situation. I mean, you have fulfillment of wishes. That's beautiful. Now, your situation, Aquarius. You have the Prince Consort. Now, in traditional tarot, this would be the Emperor card. Now, in this deck, this is Prince Albert, and he married Queen Victoria, and they married when they were very young. I think they were like 20 years old when they got married, and he died unexpectedly at an early age in his early 40s, 41, 42, and when he died, Queen Victoria, she spent the rest of her life mourning the loss of him. She wasn't able to move forward, wasn't able to be with anyone else because it was just this great love. They really enjoyed were fascinated with all types of legends and myths and stories of past, particularly regarding love. And they like to think of themselves as the reincarnation of Arthur and Guinevere. But it was this like true love, this deep love, this divine love, this love that wasn't ending. But he was very, in the emperor, he was very powerful, Prince Albert. He was very progressive. He was all about caring for people. So he did a lot of changes, improvements with regards to education, particularly college, university education, with slavery, with welfare, things to better the lives of others. He was all about doing his duty, serving others. It was about them, it was not about him. He was very responsible. He was definitely the leader. This would be someone who's in a father role. Fatherhood, an authoritative figure. This could be a spouse. This could be your husband. This could be someone that's like a father, the head of the business. But this is about, willpower, courage, being very charismatic, very dynamic, really turning our thoughts into a reality, using that masculine power and wisdom to create something to benefit others, to assist others. So for many of you, this is your partner. For many of you, this is a divine love. You feel that connection. You could be soulmates. You just have this connection. You're wanting to help others. You're wanting to serve others. You're wanting to assist others. You're both very charismatic, but particularly him. I notice he's kind of like holding this notebook. Almost though, sometimes when we lose something, we'll like take detailed notes. We'll retrace our steps. Almost in it, where did I go wrong? Where did I leave it? What did I do? How do I fix it? Some of you, he needs your forgiveness. Because you may have just recently received the information. Some of you are going to receive the information this month, and it's information that you're going to have some difficulty getting over. You're going to have a difficult time forgiving your partner. Which is why that time apart is needed. But it is a beautiful partnership. What has happened in the past that has led to this is fulfillment of wishes. Hopefully you can see that. You got this person, you see on top, and could be a woman, but in a cap and gown, graduated, reached this pinnacle. This is, would be 9 of Cups, but this is a very, very positive card, if not the most positive card in this deck. It's about fulfillment and joy and satisfaction and happiness and total contentment with our life. It's really, truly about our dreams coming true. It's also accepting what we have worked for, accepting those gifts, accepting those blessings, because oftentimes some people will have difficulty accepting good stuff. Sometimes they don't feel worthy of it. They think other people should get it, but it's accepting that because you've worked for that. It's also about healing the past, healing the memories that are keeping you stuck, which will, ultimately clear your path in order for you to move forward. So for those of you Aquarius that are in the situation, you have this relationship, this meant to be relationship, this relationship that fulfills you in every possible way. It's just your treasure trove. It's a blessing. You feel like, oh my gosh, this is just a blessing from above. But again, for many of you, it's kind of a newer relationship. So for some of you, this is a relationship that, you've been in this relationship for less than a year. Maybe anywhere for 6 to 12 months for some of you. But it's a newer relationship. But you just, when you meet your soulmate or you meet a twin, you just know instantly, like, oh my gosh, this is meant to be. This is beautiful. We're going to be this alpha couple, this power couple, the emperor, the empress. We are just going to do some amazing things, and you just know right away. It just clicks. And so you met this person, you're like, dang, this is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always envisioned. And you thought it was exclusive. Okay. This is the card for what's challenging you. And it's another 9 of Cups. I mean, you have 2 9 of Cups in a row, which is a testimony that this is the real deal. It really is. It's the real deal. This is about well-being, happiness, having good health, having abundance, but also abundance that is visible. It's about reaching our dreams, our hopes, our goals, our aspirations. It's also about self-esteem. This is the challenge. The challenge is you desire this with him. You want this with him. But for some of you, the news that you've received or you're about to receive is, because again, it's a new relationship. There wasn't the exclusivity that you thought. And for some of you, it's really throwing you off. You see how she's hunched down. She kind of has her hair over her eyes, and she's got her hair forward, and she's got her arms in front of herself, almost in like a protective stance. So for some of you, it's been a hit to your self-esteem, to your confidence. You've really been shaken to the core. You thought, oh my gosh, I thought this was it. For some of you, you've questioned, okay, well, what's wrong with me? There must be something wrong. But there's not. She's beautiful. She's perfect. Long hair. Perfect. Supportive. But it's knocked you, she squatted down. It's knocked you down. And for some of you, you're having a little bit of difficulty getting back up, regaining that confidence. And also the confidence in him, the confidence in this connection. For some of you, you're listening to other people's advice, which really isn't benefiting and helping you. We're going to go over that when we cover what they're recommending that you do. What you are unaware of, you do have the 6 of Autumn. Because again, this is this love that you wanted. This is the love of a lifetime. You want to build a foundation. At the bottom it says, the good you do comes back to you, an unexpected inflow of money, borrowing wisely or repaying a debt. And this is all about sharing your success, helping those in need, because the more, money abundance, it's energy. It's a flow. Some people that hold on to their money, they're always like worried about money and how's more money going to come in? Well, because it's stagnated. Whereas if they start spending money, start sharing, donating money, then they have more coming in. It kind of opens the faucet a little bit. But this is also about being wise in what we're giving. It's about being balanced in giving and receiving. So for some of you, this is what's unknown to you. Some of you, you were all in. You were all in, but there wasn't a conversation between the two of you about, okay, what is this? Are we committed? Are we not committed? So even though you feel as though because I get for many of you, it was like a new relationship. Although you felt this is a relationship that's of a divine nature, it's of a high nature, I feel this connection, this meant to be, there was not a conversation about it being exclusive. So although you feel betrayed, because for some of you, you heard that there were other people that he was talking with, he hadn't really done wrong because there wasn't that conversation. There wasn't the, yes, okay, we're just with each other. We're in this committed relationship, monogamous relationship. For some of you, there's also some things that you're hearing that aren't necessarily true. You see there's these clouds all over here. So you are hearing things through the grapevine, hearing things through your friends that are not necessarily true. So for some of you, what is unknown, you are going to be able to repair this. You know, coins, earth, which is what this card essentially is. Yes, it's not a cups card, but they're about things that are practical, solid foundation. You see there's this home behind them. They've all gathered. They're all working together toward a common goal. They're working in tandem together. So for many of you, you are going to be able to work this out. You are going to be able to come back together. You are going to build this home, build this foundation. You're going to have this 9 of Cups that you desire with him. For others of you, this is also going to be helping you come back into balance of giving and receiving, because for many of you, you were all in and you were totally giving. And for some of you, that's just what your personality is. You're always giving, giving, giving. But this is going to be helping bring you into balance of receiving. You know, because some of you, you were giving your commitment, you were giving your love to this person, but he had not done the same with you. So this will help you know that, okay, I need to know, you know, before I'm giving my all, I need to see, okay, well, where is he? Where's he at with this? Before I'm just starting, because, you know, in traditional tarot, this has a picture of this wealthy man, and he's just throwing coins out a window and not even paying attention to who he's giving to. But we have to be wise with our giving. Are we giving to people who are wanting to receive that? Are we giving to people who are also going to give in return, particularly with relationships? That's important. It can't be one-sided. Now, as far as what they're recommending you do, you have 2 cards. The first one is sound check, number 12. There is a little blue bird in the middle. There's some birds at the top. So for many of you, you need to have a conversation with him. Because again, for many, it's almost like he's trying to retrace the steps like, oh, shoot, what did I do? Oh, let me think back. Let me retrace my steps. Oh, I still don't know. Why is she so mad at me? Because there haven't been those conversations. So for many of you, it's time to have those conversations. And this card it talks about, you know, removing toxic noise, things of lower vibration. Like, you know, sometimes you can be talking about, you know, stopping the watching, you get to hear my stomach grumble, I need to eat. But to not watch violent TV, violent shows, not listen to violent music, because those things can, you know, drop our vibration. And, you know, we will pick up on what we're watching or listening to. And it does affect us. But for many of you, what they're saying is, you know, you've got friends that are like, oh girl, I can't believe he did that. Oh my gosh. But no one really has the whole story. So that, for some of you, that has you jumping to conclusions that are not correct. For some of you, they're also saying to remember your worth, remember your value. Because you know how they were saying earlier, it's almost like she's guarded self-esteem. You've been knocked down. You're doubting yourself. Don't doubt yourself. You're amazing. Remember that. Remember that. And we listen to stuff that's bringing us down, or we're listening to our friends who truly do love us. It's coming from a place of love, but it can make us worrisome. It can make us doubt. It can make us doubt, okay, why did I think this was a good connection? It's not. And it can make us doubt everything, to even doubting ourselves. Don't doubt yourselves. Do some things that are going to raise you up. And also go inward. Your other card that you have is Door to Spirit. And this is all about spiritual awakenings, new beginnings, really truly having unlimited potential. Trust your intuition. Trust what you are intuitively getting about this connection. Because some of you, they're saying it's like your inner knowing is telling you, okay, he's not a scumbag. He's not a dirtbag. That's not really him. But you're like, oh, but the signs I'm seeing, there's, it just doesn't make sense. And, he hasn't been committed and he hasn't said these things. So, he must be wrong. But listen to your inner knowing. They're encouraging you to do that these next few weeks, because that is what's going to help you propel forward, to move through that door. It's also what's going to help you turn this situation around. Now, go ahead and think of a question real quick, Aquarius. We're going to pull you one angel answer card. Okay, so if there's a question you have, something that wasn't answered. Forgiveness. Okay, let me get the book real quick. We're going to read this for you. Okay. Forgiveness. Forgiveness can work miracles. When you release the past, a weight is lifted from your shoulders, and a sense of freedom washes over you. Ask your angels to help you let go of sadness or pain caused by others so that you can be free. This card can also refer to a need for self-forgiveness. It's time to let go of any guilt you are holding on to regarding past mistakes you may have made. Give yourself credit for having tried your best, even if the results weren't what you would have liked. Focus on the changes you've made since then that have made you a better person. Okay, so hopefully that helps, Aquarius. We are going to move on now to Libra. And for those of you that are just joining, that are paying attention to the timestamps below, apologies now if you get to hear my stomach grumbling. I have not eaten yet today, so I'm going to eat when I finish up with all this. Okay, let's move these over so I can see them. I will move them over for you to see when I work that way. Okay, so what you have for your situation is the Three of Evidence, which would be Three of Wands. And see Holmes, he's like tucked up in this cave and he's prepared for camping. Like he has considered everything. He's got everything to live and be outdoors overnight, to feed himself, to care for himself, to protect himself. This is all about our intention and preparedness and readiness, ready for anything that comes our way. It's about foresight, really looking at any and all possibilities, potentials, preparing for those, preparing to combat those. It can also be contemplating going into partnership with someone, coming into agreement or compromise with someone, developing a plan and strategy together. It's about a shared plan becoming a reality. It's also intention and strength. In traditional tarot, it shows the figure who's like, waiting for his ships to come in, waiting for, to reap the rewards for all the work that he's put in. It's like this merchant that's standing there. So some of you are Wands, Pentacles, Earth. So this is about career for most of you. And you're at this point where you're trying to make a decision. Some of you are really trying to protect yourself. You see, he's got this pistol and these bullets. He's got like 4 of them lined up. He's got 2 of them laying down there. But he's prepared to protect himself. But see how he kind of like looks like a young boy. You know, young boys, they like to dress up like their fathers, and they like to follow in their father's footsteps. So some of you could be like you're trying to make a decision to not continue in the family business. So some of you, you've got this desire. You want to do something new. You want to go down a new career path. But, you know, you're part of this family business and you don't want to let them down. But it's not fulfilling you. Some of you, it's kind of like looking out longing. Some of you are wanting to begin a new adventure. He's got like this map down there. You want a new beginning. You want a new career. Some of you, you want to start a business. Some of you, it's completely different than anything that you have done. But again, you're having a hard time making that decision because you want to protect yourself. You want to protect yourself financially. Because for some of you, since it's a total change, be it changing from career you've always been in or changing from family business, you're fearful about money. How am I going to make ends meet? Am I really going to be able to make money doing this? Like, you know, maybe some people like going to teaching yoga or teaching dance, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can make this work. You know, I don't see how that's going to compare to my accountant's salary. So you're kind of torn because you're having difficulty making that decision. And it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And for some of you, it's kind of puts you out of balance because you're just not happy doing what you are doing. You're longing for something more. You're longing for something that's calling your soul. That for some of you, it is your calling. But you haven't made the decision yet. What has happened in your past, you have positive movement forward. And you see this person's in this ship, this little boat sailing away all on their own toward the sun. And this really is about, you know, having an abundant and prosperous future, following your passions, building something new, building something that you desire. It's also having the skills and the talents and the abilities to do so. But for some of you, you're working on developing those skills. You don't yet have those skills. What you do have is you do have the desire. You do have the passion. You do want that. You want to venture off in a totally different direction. You want to go off on your own. You want to begin something new. But you have concerns. You have worries. You're worried, okay, am I going to be able to make ends meet? Am I going to be able to feed myself off this? Am I going to be able to feed my family off of this? Is this going to be a complete colossal waste of my time, money, and efforts? Because for some of you, there's courses that you need to take, certifications that you need to get, totally different than anything you've ever done. And you're like, I really want to. I really feel that would make me happy. That would be my sun. That would be my sunshine. That would bring me joy. But I'm just not sure. There's some clarity that you're lacking. But you have the desire. You want it. With a little bit of training and stuff that you're going to do, you would be very good at it. And when we're going on a completely new path, we all have to get trained. We all have to get spun up. Even if it's, you're doing something spiritual and your soul remembers how to do it, because most people that get in spiritual work, they just start doing it without training. Even if your soul remembers how to do it, you still have to get their certificates and the license and all that stuff, because that gives you credibility for your clients. If your client just comes in and you're like, I do this thing. Well, who'd you learn from? I just started doing it in my basement. That's not going to give you as much clarity as, I've been certified by this and I have a license in this. And, it's for your clients, essentially. Because when you're doing spiritual, your soul already knows how. But your clients do need that to build their confidence and their trust in you. But you would be very good at it. You want to start preparing. You want to start doing that research. You want to begin that new venture. But you're really torn. What's the challenge for you? You have the King of Pentacles. And this is all about tenacity, intelligence, knowing that you're going to be successful, knowing that you're going to achieve your goals, knowing that you will be able to have financial abundance. Knowing that you also have the determination and the willpower to achieve it. And this is you, Libra. Because again, this is your challenge. Now, if you're not a guy, that's okay. This is the energy that you're exhibiting. Well, no, this is the energy that you are not exhibiting, which is why it's your challenge. You're fearful that you won't succeed. You're fearful that you will not be able to bring in the financial abundance. You're fearful that you would fall flat on your face. You're fearful that you're not going to be able to bring it to fruition, to have it grow, to have it develop. But you're going to be able to. You will be able to. But that's your challenge. You're like, I just don't see it working. So you're sitting here, you got your map, you've got your kit, you want to make the choice, you want to lunge forward, you want to do it, but you're kind of stuck in a little bit of worry at this point. Now, what's unknown to you, you do have the Princess of Autumn. And this is you too. So again, it doesn't matter the sex, the gender. This is really your energy that you're exhibiting. It says studious, responsible, cheerful, mischievous. And at the bottom it says happy news about your career, promotions, or scholarships, well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. And you see here, she's like looking back, almost kind of like she's spooked. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want them to catch me. I don't want them to catch me doing what I'm doing. But she's studying, she's learning, she's growing. This is all about there's never too much that you can't learn. You can always learn more. You can always create new skill sets, develop new skill sets. It's about being optimistic. It's about learning, studying, doing research. This is, if you look at her, she's a very charming person. She's upbeat, she's happy, she's clever, she can think outside the box. She's extremely intelligent. People love being around her. This can also sometimes be a warning to not over-analyze something before taking action, because again, it's like needing a little push to get going. Needing somebody to just give us a little nudge to get things started. So for some of you, you are going to be receiving a nudge in the near future that's going to get you going. And when I say get you going, don't be worried. It's not like you're going to lose your job. They're saying some of you are worried about that one. Okay, so no, you're not going to get fired. You're not going to be laid off yet. So you're not losing your job, but you are going to have something coming in for some of you this next month that is going to be the nudge that you need. Now, it's not like you're going to be up and jobless. But for many of you, just, things are going to maybe come to a head where you're like, I am miserable in this job. But what that's going to do is that's going to push you to start studying. It's going to push you, maybe you've got to get a degree, maybe you've got to get a certificate for this new path. And for many of you, it's completely new. It's like you don't want people to know, because again, it's like she's spooked. Like, what are you doing? Don't come in here. Don't see what I'm doing. It is, for some of you, something you're going to have to invest money in, because again, courses, training, certificates, licenses. But you're going to be able to start doing that while you're juggling your full-time job, while you're juggling the family business. And you're going to be able to move forward with that because some information is going to be coming in that's going to be helping you. And also for some of you, it could be even just support that's going to be coming in. Because for some of you, you're just, because it's totally different, for some of you it is just out there, something you've never considered. You don't think that people will be supportive of it. But they will. Now, as far as what they're recommending you do, you have two cards. The first one is to clear the path. And this really is, clearing things that are blocking you from this new beginning, this new career, this new business, this new start. So for some of you, it's releasing your worries. You got that little piggy bank. So for some of you, it's worries about finances. If you're being divinely guided to start a new career path, and that's really something you're supposed to be doing, that you are meant to be doing, God will take care of the finances. You just need to trust. interesting story I like to share sometimes is my first quantum touch course, my first certification. It was West Palm Beach. It was going to be about $1,300 for me to go. And I didn't have the money. And it was at that point 5 days before on Sunday night. I should be leaving on that Thursday. And I prayed. I'm like, okay, God, this is a last minute thing. I don't have the money for this. And it was also divinely guided how I had the weekend off and everything. It was just meant to be. But I didn't have the money, so I prayed. I'm like, okay, God, if you want me to go to this, if you want me to do this, I need you to provide the money. I need you to make it happen. I don't know how you're going to do that, but if you want it, I'm all in. But I need you to make it happen. And I came home from work the next day, and I checked my mail, and it's September, and the federal government had done some random audit of my taxes, and they had found that I overpaid by $1,325. So, if this is something that you are destined to do, you do not have to worry about money. And for some of you, you do have to release those fears because it is causing you blocks financially. Because again, it goes back to these bullets, this gun. Many of you are just trying so hard to protect yourself, protect your finances, protect your money, protect your stability. That it would help you to do some positive affirmations. You know, with the new moon, you can put that as something that you'd like to manifest. Some of you can even do some analysis, like, you know, write down some questions of, okay, you know, what is my relationship with money? How do I feel about money? When I think about money, what emotions does that bring up? How can I repair my relationship with money? And it sounds corny and quirky, but if you just sit down and you pray, you ask that God and angels help you, and you just intuitively do it, you will have things that pop up and you're like, wow, I didn't even realize that was a block for me with money. And then that does help you open the flow. So for some of you, what you need to do is you do need to release some fears about money, clear the path with money, clear the energy, clear the feeling stuck. For some of you, it's starting to study, get enrolled in some classes. And for some of you, it's they're saying shining the light on what it is that you desire. So sharing that, communicating that with others, because for some of you, there is some support out there for you. You are feeling all alone and isolated. You don't feel like anyone would support you, but it's because you haven't discussed that with anyone. You haven't shared that, hey, you know, like maybe with your spouse, maybe you've been an accountant your whole life and you're like, okay, well, now I want to open a gym. And you're like, honey, I know this is going to sound really out there, but I really want to give up this job and do this because I just feel, you know, I've had miraculous results with my weight loss. I just want to inspire other people and help them, and I want to create a gym. But you're terrified of having that conversation because you're like, he's going to look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm wasting our money, I'm losing our money. When in reality, if you have that conversation, because for many of you, it's just all on your own. This is in your head. You haven't communicated it. You haven't put the light on it. And you don't realize that you would actually have support. And if you come with an honest, open heart, he'll be like, I'm totally behind that because I love you and I want you to achieve these things that you want. For some of you, it's also with your friends, with your family. When you let them know, they will support you. They will help you. And it will be a slow transition. Again, it's not like you're just going to jump into it full speed for most of you. Majority of you. Now, there might be one or two, and you're just going to jump full speed, but the rest of you, it is going to be a slow transition. It's not something to panic over, but it is starting these first baby steps. The other card that you have is the World. You see, again, there's this lone figure, and there's all these clouds, and he's just looking out. This is about expansion, opening up to new beginnings, really looking at the big picture, because sometimes we'll get lost. We'll lose the forest in the trees. So we'll be staring so intently upon like this one tree that we don't realize we're surrounded by thousands of trees. Lots of opportunity. You have unlimited resources. So for some of you really need to take a look at your money, your finances. And that's what they're encouraging you to do. Because you have some serious worries about your money, protecting money. For some of you, there's some energetic blocks with regards to your money. And there's ways to shift that abundance. You know, just like anything, everything's energy. You know, if you look at people who are always worried about money. They're like, hold on. And people are like, oh, they're so tight. They're so stingy. They never spend money. Well, they're also the same people that never seem to have a big inflow of abundance, a big inflow of money. They're always going from like paycheck to paycheck. They're always fretting. Well, that's because they're always worried about money. Energetically, it's stagnant. Energetically, they're terrified of not having money, which is why they don't have money. Whereas if they just start to spend money and they just start to donate money and they just start to trust that I don't have any money worries, money's just going to keep flowing in, then money will. Because that's when you've shifted the energy. As it goes out, it flows in just as fast. It was interesting. First thing that, one of the things I did years ago when my money was tight, and angels were trying to get me to shift my abundance. They had me, I went and got $21 bills. And I had put these messages on the $1 bills saying, you know, may your life be filled with love, joy, abundance, and money. And I went to the store, and initially to do it, I was like, what? You mean you want me just to give away $20? And they're like, yes, that's what you're going to do. And I'm like, but my money's tight. I don't have $20 to give away. And they're like, no, you're going to do it. Do you want more money? Then go give it away. Because by giving it away, then you're having faith that God's going to bring you more. I'm like, okay, you all make me do some of the weirdest stuff. Having conversations in my head, you're making me go do weird stuff again. But I did it. And trusted. I went and got $21 bills. I put this little message on all of them. I went and tucked them away in books. I actually went to Half Price Books, and I shoved them in books and CDs and all this stuff. But when I was done, I said a prayer. And I asked that God and angels would bring me 10 times the amount of abundance that I had just blessed people's lives with, so that I could continue to bless lives of others. And it was like something that flipped a switch in me. Now, I do it a couple $100s at a time. I don't worry about money. It's funny, people ask me what I charge clients. I don't even set what I charge clients. They tell me what it is. You know, when I first set the pricing 2 years or so ago, Michael and crew were telling me, oh, you're going to increase your price. They've been telling me that for a number of months, and so they finally wore me down. But I don't even know what I charge for the most part. I have people ask me, like, ew, I don't know. Let me look online. Because I don't pay attention to that. I'm not in it for the money. I didn't set my prices. But I'm also not worried about money. Money's energy. Don't fear it. If you're destined and meant to do something, the money will be there. For some of you, you do have blocks. Focus on those blocks this next month. If any of those tips sound good to you, try them. You can also Google online financial abundance, how to turn on financial abundance, law of attraction with finances. You might find some other things that resonate with you more. But do those things this month, because for many of you, your big worry is money. But once you overcome that hurdle, boy, you're going to be on fire. Okay, so go on ahead and think of a question real quick, something that has not been answered or a question that you have, and I'm going to pull one angel answer card for you. And you have compromise, which is interesting. Balance scales. Okay, so let me read this. And then we are going to have a slight momentary pause while I get up and turn on another light. And I'm not editing the pause out. I already have to edit your videos. It takes forever to edit videos. Okay. I try to avoid editing videos at all costs. Okay. We have compromise. In order to create a happy outcome for this situation, you will find it necessary to compromise. Allow yourself some time to become clear about what is truly important to you. Also, take note of matters where you would be open to changing your position. Work towards an agreement where everyone wins. Be open to cooperation that would allow you to get what you need while also assisting others in fulfilling their desires. Be objective about finding a balance between respecting everyone else's viewpoints and still being true to your own. So for some of you, what they're saying is, you know how this was talking about, what do you want? What do you want to create? So for some of you that are kind of like in that family business situation, have a conversation with your family. It's still going to be a slow transition, a period of change. But if you talk with them, they'll be supportive. So hopefully that helps you, Libra. Gemini, give me just a minute to turn on the light and I'll be back and we'll get you guys started. And the dogs are going crazy because they're going to think that I'm done, and I'm not. You all have been played. Mama tricked you too. I know. I know. One more and you can go outside and play. All right. There we go. You have been so patient. Yes, you have. You're good girls. Okay. Get my mic hooked back up. Okay. All right. Sit down, Miss Ellie. Okay, Gemini. Let's see what you have going on. I'm gonna move these down here real quick. Okay. So your situation, you have the Lady or the Queen of Deduction, which would be Pentacles in traditional tarot. And this is, you know, Mrs. Hudson. And she was like the maid. She took care of Sherlock Holmes. And she wasn't, I mean, she was a maid. She was there to serve. She wasn't of high nobility. But she was a woman of power, influence. He really counted on her. He relied on her. She had tremendous strength. She was kind of like a gatekeeper when people would come in. But she also had the strength in service. Because she would bring him food. She would bring him tea. She's what kept the home going. She's what kept the home together. But she's very practical. So those of you in this situation, you are the Lady of Deduction. You are very practical and warm and welcoming and loving, and you just radiate joy and good cheer, and you make people feel welcome and at home. You know, she would always bring in tea and sit down to greet and have conversations and get to know each other. But that's you. You're a good friend. You're loyal. You're faithful. You can also help your friends. Now, granted, you can be very frank and direct and very honest, but you can get to the core of the issue really quickly. You know how to take care of things. So some of you, you may manage resources. You might be a landlady. You might do financial things. Because you can manage things wisely. You're very good at making things better. You like to be part of a group, part of a community. You're able to help everyone elevate their mood. You're very nurturing. And security is very important to you. A stable home. Oh, okay. You do have, I like it when I'm studying the cards and trying to figure out, okay, what do they want me to do? And they just pop in with something. You have 2 3s. And 2 3s is about, you know, in a relationship, one of the two of you is craving, desiring, needing, wanting a change. You need something new. You need some more excitement. It can also speak of news, gossip. Okay, so what you have for your past, and for many this is like, you know, the past, 6 months or so. But you have reward and recognition. And this would be a Wands card, 3 of Wands. But this is all about, receiving that recognition, receiving the accolades for the hard work that we've done, for the job that we've done well. It's about successfully completing a project. You see, he's like up on a pillar, like, oh my gosh, I have won the gold medal. Yes, I have brought it home because I have worked hard for it. This is about deserving a pat on the back because you have worked hard. This can also speak of a family coming back together for a common goal, trying to accomplish something together. This can also speak of needing help because you see that he's by himself. He's on his own. Okay, so for some of you, most of you, this is a newer relationship where you are committed. You're not married, but you are committed to each other. Some of you may actually be living together. And you've just been putting in a lot of work. You've been doing everything. You know, women, you know, we're the homemakers. We love to make the home. We like to do that. And for some of you, that is what you have done. So you've come into this relationship. You have given it your all. You have tried to create this home. Some of you, maybe you moved into his home. And you've decorated it. You turned it from a bachelor pad that had a Budweiser sign hanging over the pool table, which was all in the dining room. You've actually turned it into a home. You've morphed it because you're like, okay, this is my man. This is our home. We are creating this. We are doing this. We are building this together. But you have been the only one that's been putting in the work. And some of you are wondering, like, you know, what's going on? Some of you are feeling like he's pulling away. You're feeling like there are things that you're not aware of, things he's not telling you. I mean, when you met, so they're saying for some of you, you met, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is great. Because again, they're saying for a number of you, this is a newer relationship. But you just very quickly jumped all in, moved in. Some of you relocated to move in together. You're like, oh, we're going to make this work. But it was one-sided. And you're amazing. You were doing a great job. This is you, by the way. If you're not a woman, okay, fellas, you were doing a good job. But you were the only one doing it, working by yourself. Yes, you're a catch. Yes, you're amazing. Yes, you should get the gold. But there's not a couple standing here. For some of you, there's not a couple standing here because there was a third party involved, and that is why he has been pulling away. That is why he has, for some of you, it's like the excitement, the enthusiasm that he had early on is not there. It's lacking. When you ask questions, you ask for clarity. Some of you have just directly wanted to know what's going on. Where are we? Where do things stand? You're not receiving that clarity, that information that you desire. Some of you have heard some gossip. You have heard some news. And that is what's challenging you, because you do have two cards for your challenge. The first one is the Three of Pentacles. And this is, doing, if we're going to put the work in for something, we just need to put it all in with our heart, with love. And if we can do it from a place of love, then, that will make the reward, the benefits so much sweeter, so much enjoyable, so much more rewarding and blissful when we complete that. And that's what you've been doing. You've been working hard. Sunflowers are all about joy, bliss, happiness. And you have planted those. You've been trying to bring your sunflower together with his. You've been totally focused on it. You have been nurturing it and loving it. There's actually scientific studies. It's interesting that they'll have two plants, and they'll have people tell one group of plants, I love you. You're beautiful. I love you. The main phrase that they typically use is I love you. Then the other plants, they'll tell them, I hate you. You're so ugly. I hate you. And what they'll find is the plants that are showered with love, they grow, they blossom, they flourish, they're vibrant, they're full of color. The ones that are told that they, are hated and not wanted and all of that, they wither up, they die, they don't grow. But you've been putting all your nurturing and love. You've been working on building this home, this foundation, something beautiful and successful. But meanwhile, you weren't aware that this other sunflower popped up, because there was something going on behind your back. So there was some news that came in, something that was surprising, something that came in about your lover, your partner. Again, for many of you, I'm not getting that. There could be a couple of you, but I'm getting that you're not married, but you are committed. You were in a committed monogamous relationship, should have been monogamous relationship. Some of you, you were living together. You were developing this home, trying to create this home, and you were giving it all you had. But this news came in, and it just really threw you down, threw you for a loop. And this is the Four of Swords. And you look, she's just down for the count. She's passed out. She feels like she's stuck, feels like she's imprisoned. This is about taking time to rest, taking time to heal our hearts, to heal our mind, to heal our soul. For many of you, you need to heal your heart. It's almost like she's like in a cave. You see how like there's this entrance to a cave, and she's got these swords. So for some of you, you know, you moved right in with this person. For many of you, you may have moved at a distance, and now you're feeling kind of trapped. Like, oh my gosh, what in the heck have I done? I tried to create this home. I've given it all I have. And now I find this out. And I don't know what to do from here. And the thing that's challenging for some of you is, some of you still think that, okay, if I put in some more work, it's, you know, maybe this one's going to wither up and die and go away, and we'll be back on board. So some of you are, and you see how she's got these sunflowers in a tight grip. She's really, really holding on. For many of you, your challenge is to let him go, to let it go. And the challenge is also to accept things and allow yourself to have the time to heal. Because for many of you, they're saying you are all about others. That's just your personality. You're very loving. You're very compassionate. You give to everyone else. But part of the thing that was with this is it was off balance. You were not receiving. You do deserve to receive. You deserve to receive. You do. But you keep trying. You keep trying. You keep trying to make it work. The challenge is to stop trying to make it work, to accept it, to allow yourself to heal so that you can prepare for the future. Now, what is unknown to you? You have life experience. Now, this would be the Tower card in traditional tarot, and you even see that there's this tower. And at the bottom it says, let go of belief systems that no longer work for you, an important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. So in order for something new to be built, to create in our lives, the old has to fall down. It has to crumble down. That is what's about to happen with this relationship. It already has started. But for some of you, you still don't have the clarity. Like you've kind of heard, you've gotten some news. Some of you, it's maybe even news through the grapevine, some gossip. Maybe you noticed some stuff going on social media sites, but you don't have the firm confirmation yet. So for some of you, you're going to be receiving this firm confirmation. If you look here, if you look closely, they're not holding hands. They're not embracing hands. It's almost like she's got, if you look, she's got her fingers like spread apart. You know how when you're about ready to lunge at someone? I just need to shake some sense into you. Or sometimes I need to choke you. But shake some sense into you. But she's got that stance like, are you kidding me? I'm going to grab him. Are you kidding me? The tower with him is about to come crumbling. The relationship with him is about to come crumbling down. You are about to receive some information. But it's good. It's good, Gemini, because they're going to bring you in something better. You see all this smoke? You know, they say, you know, smoke and mirrors. Some of you have been fed some information that's not necessarily true. For many of you, he made you think that this is going to be beautiful, baby. You just come here, live here. We're going to create something miraculous. But he wasn't being honest and forthright with his intentions. And that's nothing wrong with you. You gave it your all. Don't allow this to cause you to block and close up your heart, because they are going to be bringing you in something beautiful. It's interesting when it comes to twin flames, twin souls. At this point, all twin flames have actually met, but a lot of twin souls are meeting and are still going to be meeting. And the cool thing with twin souls is they're like twin flames. What happens is they there's always like this person that they meet before they meet their twins. So twin souls. So some of you are twin souls. Okay. But what they'll do is they'll meet this person. It's kind of like a catalyst. It's a person that begins it. This person triggers their spiritual awakening. And when they meet this person, it's kind of like a kismet, meant to be. They feel like, oh my gosh, this is my soulmate. This is the one. But then it very quickly, and that's what happened with some of you. You're just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. You felt it. You moved. Some of you moved cross country, moved into states, but you're like, you moved in, you gave it your all because you're just like, I feel like this is it. But that's how it happens. Some people call them the shadow twins. But anytime you've got this person that you meet before you meet your true other half, and this is something that's specific for twins, you'll meet one that will have some similar characteristics. Now, the thing that's tricky is then when you do meet your twin, which typically is the next person that you meet, sometimes people are a little hesitant because they're like, last time I felt this, I got burnt real bad. That did not work out well for me at all. But that's why there needs to be some healing. Needs to be some healing, ladies. So this tower is coming down. But don't be afraid of it. Allow it to fall because you have a new beginning coming in. This pitch, this story that he gave you it was not his intention. But the thing is, the tower's going to come down. This relationship's going to end, but it is going to transform things for you. So don't fear it. You know, God can't bring something new in until the old is gone. This also speaks about, getting the truth, seeking the truth, wake-up calls. That's going to be happening for some of you this month. But now that you know, you can be prepared. Because for some of you, you're still stuck in this phase where you're like, I'm going to make it work. By golly, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this a happy home. But those of you in this situation, this is not a surprise. So if you are in a happy relationship and things are amazing and wonderful, this message is not for you. It's not for you. You're in a happy marriage, everything's spectacular. This message is not for you. Okay, so don't try to stretch it and make it fit for you. This is for the people who are in these relationships that are new, they're not working, you're living together, you know it's not good. You've been trying so hard. You've gotten this gossip, this news, this information, but you've not gotten complete clarity yet. This month, for many of you, you are going to be receiving that clarity, that concrete information. But it's going to set you free in a new direction with regards to love. Because once the one tower comes down, once he's gone, once this relationship's over, you can finish healing your heart and you can prepare for what is about to come in. So for some of you, you are going to be meeting what is called your twin soul. Sometimes people ask me, what's the difference between twin souls and twin flames? Both sides of the house, sorry, ignore my grumbling stomach. I have not eaten yet today. I'm so hungry. You guys are my last reading. I'm going to eat. Sorry, you have to hear my belly, like wants food. But twin flames, twin souls. Twins, same on both sides. It means they have found their other half. So a soul consists of a masculine side and a feminine side. Both sides together create a whole. So they truly are each other's other half. It's interesting when I do readings for people to confirm if someone is their twin soul, twin flame. I can walk them through something that's a physical exercise that actually gives them true physical confirmation that they are one, and it kind of blows their mind because it's kind of awesome to get some physical confirmation of what you've been thinking, because oftentimes when we go through this journey we think we're crazy, but we're not. But it's beautiful because you get confirmation. But twins are one. You're him, he's you, you're one. The difference that comes in is twin flames are angelics in human bodies. Twin souls are humans. Twin souls could be fairies in human bodies. They're any other type of soul being incarnated in a human body. Now, there are differences in the missions, so it is a little bit more challenging for twin flames. So those of you in this situation, be thankful, because those of you that are going to be meeting your twin, it's a twin soul. Because again, all twin flames have already met. And they're already preparing for their timeline because they have a deadline to be in union. So many of you are going to meet your twin soul, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. And just know, as you're going through this heartache of breakups, because breakups are never easy, and you really did love and care for this person, and you were all in, know that you have something so much better on the horizon, because you are about to be receiving some gifts from the universe. You see you've got this cornucopia at the top. You've got this big pot of gold that's overflowing with this rainbow. This is about not limiting yourself. So for some of you, you do have this divine love coming in that is better than anything you'd ever imagine. But sometimes when we have something coming that good, we think, oh no, that just can't be. Sometimes we don't think we're worthy of it. You are worthy of it. You are deserving of it. When it shows up, you do need to accept it. So for many of you, again, this is, what they're telling you to work on for the next month. You need to work on coming into balance with your giving and your receiving. That's going to help you prepare for this divine love that's going to be coming in. Because for many of you, you are so wonderful and loving and compassionate that in all of your relationships, not just romantic relationships, but work relationships and friendships, you are the one who is always giving to everyone else. You are the one that is always taking care of everyone else. But sweetie, who's taking care of you? Who's giving to you? What you need to work on this next month is to obviously allow this to fall away and be done. Start working on your healing of your heart. But the healing of your heart, big thing for you this month, is to start coming into some balance with receiving. Throttle back on that giving. Because you are worthy of receiving. A lot of you have forgotten that because you've forgotten how magnificent you are. When we start to do heart healing, it's typically people that are givers. And I get it. Most twins are divine feminine are givers, and so are the masculine. Because again, you got twins are one. They have the same core characteristics, lessons, all of that. But typically, people who are over-givers, over-nurturing, the reason that they do that is because they do not feel that they are worthy of love. When they start to dig down and heal the core wounds, typically it's because, maybe they grew up in a home where there was an absent parent. And, so now they feel as though they have to prove that they are worthy of someone's love. Do not leave me. I am adding value to your life. I'm helping create this home. I'm making you happy. Please don't leave me. That's really where it's coming from. But when you come into a state of loving yourself, you know that, what? Even if they leave, they're not worthy of my awesomeness. And that's okay, because I don't have to give every little bit of everything that I have to everyone else to keep them around. Because if that's what I have to give to keep someone, they're not worth it. I deserve someone that's better, that's someone that wants to be in my life and also wants to help me and give to me. So work on rebalancing that giving and receiving. So for some of you, some easy first steps. You're always saying yes to everyone. You're always, they're saying you're always like somebody asks you if you can run an errand for them or you can do this for them, or even, going to different events and things that you're just like, deep down you don't want to do it. But you've always said yes. So try this month, start to say no. And say it without explanation. No, I'm sorry, I can't. Because some of you, you're going to want to try to over-explain, and you're going to talk yourself into doing it. Start off by saying no. Set some healthy boundaries. Allow yourself to receive. For some of you, if someone offers to help you with something this next month, graciously accept their help. Because your healing is to bring yourself into balance. You need to start accepting things. You need to know that you are deserving of gifts. You are deserving of assistance. Because it's kind of like baby steps. You need to start with accepting some people's help. You need to start with people's help of running some errands and giving you some assistance. Then you can accept this big divine love gift that will be coming in. And it's going to be coming in. But for those of you that are twins, get ready. Because you are beginning a spiritual path, a spiritual journey. Some of you are going to feel like you're going in circles. It's okay. You're just bettering yourself. Some of you might feel like you're going crazy, but you're not. You're just bettering yourself. It does get easier, and life does get beautiful and magical. But this is about a spiritual purpose, a spiritual path. It's also about a spiritual destiny. You are about to embark on something that is destined for you, that is fated for you. This is your soul's journey. Allow it. But the first step for you to do with this growth, with this process, is for you to allow this lesson, to allow this tower to fall, so that you can begin embarking on this spiritual path. so that you can begin embarking on your healing that will need to be accomplished. Now, it's not going to delay you meeting the person that's coming in. You are going to be meeting them. Many of you are going to be meeting them in the spring. Yeah, it's in springtime. Okay. So for most of you in the spring, you're going to meet this person. But there does need to be some preliminary work to prepare for that. Now, those of you that are twins are going to meet them in the spring. That does not mean they're going to come into union right away, but you are going to meet each other. You're going to continue to do your healing. It's going to be beautiful. But we're not going to overwhelm you with a whole bunch of steps. Steps you need to do this month. Balancing, giving and receiving. Start receiving. Start saying no. Let this fall. Let this relationship be done. Okay, so think of a question real quick, Gemini. If there's something that was not answered, or if you just have a question, think of it. I'm going to pull an angel answer card for you real quick. And you have yes. Now, this is not the yes with the exclamation point. There are two of them. Okay, let me read this to you real quick. The answer to your question is yes. If you want more detailed reply to your inquiry, you can ask additional questions and pull more cards. So, hopefully that helps all of you. I do wish you all an amazing month. For those of you that are going to be celebrating Thanksgiving, have an amazing time. Enjoy the time with your friends, your family. I do wish you safe travels. Shh. They always know when we're done. They get really excited to go outside. But for those of you that are not celebrating Thanksgiving, still use this month to be grateful. Come into a state of gratitude, a state of thankfulness, because no matter what your situation, when you are in a state of gratitude, being thankful for what you have in life, you just receive more. It makes life more magical. So use this month, use this time to get your work done, to be in a state of gratitude, a state of love, a state of appreciation. For all of us, we all have lessons and things that we are trying to finalize and integrate and do. That is why they are having me not do readings for you guys for a couple weeks, so that everybody has time to do that. So use this time to do that, and you will have even more as we head into December and the new year to be grateful for. So I do wish you all the best. Love you bunches. Have an amazing month, and I will talk to you all again after Thanksgiving.